pushed.
Button is definitely pushed. She's gone
And we're in
quiet
the
on me.
recording. There we are. I've gone quiet on you. I'm sorry. No, I was just thinking, oh, buttons are pushed and look, we're ready to go.
No, we're on.
The usual organised chaos.
Professional.
To the end. It's sometimes like working with an amateur, but there you go. Anyway, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 30, series 2, Ladies Wot Pod. And it is episode 30. That's what I've got. Episode 29 last week.
You do the odd ones, it's 31. Excuse us while we have a domestic, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. Well, I was going to say, I've got... Anyway, whatever it is...
31.
Anyway, whatever. We're there. So whatever we are. I've no notes for last week then. That's a bit bizarre. Welcome to it. It is by way of a therapy pod as well as a celebration pod. It's a hybrid pod this week.
It's a hybrid. Double therapy in some ways, isn't it?
Double therapy in some ways. And, well, actually, if you count the under-20s, even more so. But we start with last week going to training and what? What does that say? Okay. Don't know.
30 ladies and gentlemen. There you go.
Well, episode 31 then. Series 2, whatever. I was going to say, you claim that that's gospel, Mrs. J, but we know it's not reliable. We could have easily skipped over something. So, yes. So starting with training last week, and I caught up with Kev because we had not brought you sheep news. And obviously in the sheep world, it's been a busy few weeks. So I caught up with Kev with some sheep news. All right, and it's recording.
Oh, very
so
good.
Here I am.
Here we are.
With Kev again. So we're having an update on sheep news. So how many lambs did you get in the end?
Well, I've still not finished lambing.
Oh,
I've still got 9 sheep left to lamb. So potentially I will get 75 lambs. At the moment there are 63 at the moment, and we've still got potentially, I'd say, another 13, 14 to come.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good. But you did have a bit of.
We had a bit of a disaster at the start. We lost a few lambs, and we've had blood tests from the vet. There was no nutritional problems, and luckily no infections or diseases. So there was nothing sort of to give an infection to anything else. But they've actually come back to me now and said we had a slight iodine deficiency in the sheep, and this can lead to stillbirths or weak lambs being born. So next year we've got to blood test all the sheep 8 weeks before lambing, and if it's still a low count, supplement the sheep with iodine to hopefully allow the lambs to have a better development.
Excellent. So you were saying they're still inside. You're glad you didn't turn the lambs out yesterday because this wind is bitter today.
It is, yes. They can stand the cold, but if it's looking like being damp and cold, that really affects them. And it's quite funny how the mothers will protect the lambs in the cold because they actually lay down against the prevailing wind, and the lambs lay behind the ewes, so they actually do keep them warm. So it is nature, and because of the last year's lack of grass, a lot of people this year, or just in my instance, are having a lot more male lambs born because you don't actually need a lot of males for survival of the species.
Right.
So there's not so many sheep running around, so you get a lack of food for them. They actually naturally seem to produce more male lambs in bad years.
Whoa, you've learnt it here. You don't get this on any other rugby pod, do you?
No.
Sheep news. Thanks, Kev.
Okay,
cheers,
thank you. Cheers.
There we go. And I've just realised we've gone straight into sheep news and not told anybody who we are. But after that beginning, it's probably a good thing.
You were so excited about doing it. Was a fabulous interview. And on Friday, Kev told me he was down to 4 sheep. needing to
All
lap.
sheep.
So there you go. So who are we, Mrs. Saunders? I completely
I've
put
no
you off,
idea.
which I
To be honest,
apologise.
I have no idea who I am today. I am Liz Saunders, and I am chairman of the Saint Supporters Club, and I'm Halo in Chief. Oh, look at that! I've gone from Chief Halo to Halo in Chief now. Just give myself these titles, because who's going to challenge? And I'm a general rugby nose and a granny to two budding rugby players who, were able to get out and play yesterday, much to their
Cracking.
actually
Well
much to their mother's delight, I have to say, because that was a bit of energy burnt off. They were really tired last night. So, more of that later. Yeah, and I live in South Northants, where it was nice and sunny earlier, but it's not actually raining at the moment. And you are.
And I am Claire Jones, and it is sunny in Cambridgeshire, on the edge of the fens. So well done, everybody. And the temperature is a rising. I had actually one too many layers on yesterday. More of that shortly. Yes, and
it was very warm yesterday.
One of the club photographers at Northampton Saints, Bedford Blues, Loughborough Lightning. More of that shortly. And a busy weekend, so I'm feeling a bit tired. We did a lot of travelling this weekend.
I've just realised why I have no notes. Because I wasn't here. I was in Tenerife.
You were in Tenerife, being on holiday.
That's why. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. That's why my error. For
she doubted
not
me, everybody. But there you go.
I did. With valid reason, to be fair.
Oh yes, I have got form. I agree. So Saints training was actually perfect training for Newcastle, because the wind tunnel was...
it was bitter.
It was bitterly cold. That bit wasn't quite right, because it wasn't that cold in Newcastle, but the wind was perfect. But it did cut through you. Oh my lord! Now, as you can
see from the Sheep News interview, I am very, very well wrapped up.
I did like that, and those of you who follow our Facebook group, do follow us on Facebook. Will have seen me post a picture of Liz, who was disappearing into her hat, coat, scarf, anything.
Yeah,
to
my heated gilet.
The heated gilet.
Lifesaver.
So, but we had another conversation with Kev, because we, for some random reason, I woke up one morning last week and thought, ooh, I wonder how many players have I seen make their debuts. And while we were at training, we asked Kev how many players he has seen make the debut. So he wins, of course, because he predates me by a few years. So the answer is Kev Buckby. 340 players have made their debut since Kev became the kit man. And the first one, we think this guy is not undernamed. He's not undernamed in any way. No. Selborne Boom. Boom. Saint, that tested the microphones. 1790. Now, in my case, in the early days of doing this gig, I didn't shoot every game. So there are 10 players that I'd missed their debuts, including Alex Waller. But I've seen 278 players make their debut. The first of which was Chris Ashton. Wow. Yeah. Saint 1842, who made his debut on the 1st of September 2007. There you go. It's the first time I shot a game at the Garden. And the last that both, obviously, me and Kev saw was Jack Lewis, Saint 2130. There you go.
I was going to say, I don't want to depress anyone, but I've just had a quick look at... I've looked at Selborne Boom. He's 50 now. Okay.
Stop it, Liz. Stop it.
Sorry, everybody.
Yes.
That's a bit depressing, really. Yeah.
Anyway, well, it was a good session, wasn't it? I'm just, for those of you on Spotify, I'm just putting some.
It was very jolly.
It was very jolly, and thank you to Loughborough University men's team, who are doing very well in the Bucks League, because, of course, Saints rather needed an opposition to do some training. So, so I had fun with the cameras, and no, it was good. It was good. And, yes, there were lots of running around, and, all in all, very good. It's good seeing the likes of Tom West back out there, isn't it?
Yes,
it is good to see that. But I thoroughly enjoyed shooting that session, so that was very good. Yes,
yeah, it was a very interesting session. We had talking about age. Young Archie McParland was 21 the day before we were at training and complaining about feeling old, and then I know we were not sympathetic at all to him. Get over yourself. Don't be ridiculous. Then the university students trotted onto the pitch, and he turned to me and he said, "They look so young." And I went, "They are so young, Archie. They're all of a year younger. They're all of a year younger than you. Some of them will be the same age. Get over yourself." And I said, "Just play nicely with the children, Archie. Don't be too rough." And he trotted off laughing.
Mind you, they were putting it about a bit anyway. So they were not.
They didn't care, do they? Never got to see these people again.
They were just having fun. And then afterwards, I have to say, big shout out to Chunya Munger, who helped me with my photography homework. Some of you may know that I'm doing a photography course this year because I want to improve. Every photographer should. So I'm doing a course, and this fortnight's homework was, what's it called? Natural light portraits. So that's take a window, a north-facing window, and achieve the Rembrandt look, it's called, by having natural light falling onto their face. And so for those of you who'd like to see the outcome, there you go. He's a good-looking boy, isn't he?
He's a good-looking boy.
I was very pleased. And he did it straight after training, which was ever so kind of him.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was good. It worked out really, really well. And I had to tell him how to look. So we used the example that I've been shown in my which was the front page of a book. And so he looked like he said his response when I showed him the picture was, "Well, there's a few problems, Claire. A, I'm not blonde. B, I'm not white.
B, not female. C, not female.
C, not female." I went, "I know that. You're also not American. But could you just look out the window the way she is?" So I think it worked.
It did very well. And what's interesting, ladies and gentlemen, you can't see the detail of that, but in his eyes, it's the reflection of the stadium. It's really quite
Yes. Yeah, it was very kind of him because he'd been running around in the mud for all.
And we were right. He was going to have lasagna. Yeah.
Yeah, we were right next door to the media, because the day we did training was media day, so the world's press were busily interviewing all sorts of people, including Jacko and and we learned
Ben Rhodes.
We learned the media tart. We were so on point giving Ben Rhodes the media tart, weren't we? We were just so on point.
Yeah.
Because he was being interviewed by the Daily Mail. To which I said, "No photos, mate." And he went, "Yeah, no."
And I said, "Don't sign anything. Do not sign anything." And he said, "I won't till I've spoken to you two." So we were there. So we're media agents for the media tart, it would appear. We are also style advisors for a hooker.
Oh, yes. So let's see if I can find the photo that I took of him during the game on Friday. So I was somewhat startled, and I think you joined me in being so startled, because our beloved Craig Wright, fabulous player, he shaved his head and his beard and magnificent tash off for reasons that I still haven't quite worked out.
No.
It was a... Yes, so here we are. Let's have a look. So those of you on Spotify, I'm just... see, he's back.
Yes.
That's looking... Yes, I particularly like the tash, but he's very frustrating because the hair isn't growing back.
No, as fast as the beard.
As fast as the beard. Now, when we were having a curry last night after the Loughborough game, I suggested that we need to have a beard and tash moment with Hamish Smales. Because Hamish
could have done that on Friday.
We could have done it on Friday, but I think next game that Hamish is involved in and Craig's involved in, I think we need a Hamish versus Craig, tash and beard off.
Yeah. Sounds good to me.
But yeah, so training was fun. Training was great fun.
It was. Yeah, very, very cold, but great fun.
Yes.
Great fun. So,
yes. So then we skipped gaily onto Friday, which you didn't join us in the frozen north, did you?
No. I stayed very much in the warmth of my living room, really, with the fire, the log fire going, and trying to listen to Graham and watch the England under-20s, which was.
How did you get on with England under-20s? Should we do a quick visit? How did it go?
It was awful. Just that's all I can say. It was just no. It was just no. They lost, and it was. I was going to say all the things that were wrong when they played Wales that they managed to put right. They didn't manage to put right this time. It was weird.
Yes. Yeah, so they're up and downness, isn't it? It's yes.
Yes. So chins up, under-20s, and go again. But it was a frustrating game, I think.
Yeah. And we'll do a quick shout out to Bedford because we haven't seen anything of Bedford. Bedford beat London Scottish comfortably. I got the photograph from Sherpa 2, aka Ryan Robinson, drinking his beer after the game in celebration. So well done to the Blues. They're in second place. Yeah, it's going really, really well. Now in Newcastle,
yes. Now this is a celebratory one. Let's enjoy
this one. So well done to the lads. I think the thing that I'm really pleased about is that we've got a whole load of lads who've come back from injury. So the likes of Tom West, Tom James, Tom Litchfield, and Mr. Angry.
Mr. Angry. Oh, yes.
We're getting close. We're getting so close to peak Angry, aren't we?
Yeah.
They've got some valuable game time, so it's been really, really good. But also, on the other side, we've seen some new players actually get some proper game time. Some youngsters.
Yeah.
So it's been a really successful campaign, not only because we made the semi-finals, but I think actually the coaches have used it very wisely. And also, we've given some fantastic coaching experience to the likes of Charlie Reid and Jim Henry and of course our dear friend Jake Sharp. So it's been a win all ways. So really, really good. I would describe it as no rain but a lot of wind.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's a blessing then.
Yes, it was a bit bracing around the girdles, but there you go. The Stealth CEO was there, being stealthy.
Good, excellent, being stealthy and creeping up on people. So it was, and of course it was skippered by the man himself, the man of the moment, Chunya, who. And you were impressed by his leadership and his gathering of the lambs around. Because let's keep with the sheep theme. When Anthony was taking his conversions, he would gather his flock.
He'd gather them around. Yes. So we talk about connectedness amongst the lads, and he wisely realised that the Saints lads. Many of them hadn't played for a while or were new to it. And so after every event happened where they have a huddle in the middle, or at the start when Newcastle scored, he would gather them and make sure that the messages that they need to get to each other were there, and it was his proactiveness of making sure there wasn't, Mr. Angry wandering off to a corner, or everybody was gathered together to hear those messages. And I was really impressed at how proactive he was doing that, because he'd spotted rightly. I don't know whether they discussed it beforehand, but he made a point of making sure that everybody was on the same page. Before the game started, of course, I must give a shout out to Charlie. Hello, Charlie. That piece of cake that you gave me was enormous.
So this is Charlie from the
now you really said Falcons, Red Bulls Foundation.
I did. Fred Bulls Foundation. As they should be.
Hello, Charlie. Thank you for the massive dinosaur birthday cake, which
she didn't bring any back, Charlie. She did not bring any back. Just saying.
And hello to you and your mum, because we know that you're avid listeners. So
Yeah.
So I was we were playing towards the I don't know what they call it. The north end, is it? Well, anyway, it's the end where all the Red Bull supporters stand. The enclosed.
The enclosed
terrace.
bit, yes.
The enclosed terrace. Kev Buckby called Dr. Jones, my IT department, a lightweight for not standing at the other terrace. But yes, so Dr. T, actually, if you look closely at my photos, you can see a bloke in a Saints hat in the distance in the photos. But yeah, so he stood undercover. As it turned out, it didn't rain at all. So
didn't matter anyway.
Yeah.
You can move around in that ground anyway, can't you?
He could have swapped ends, but he stayed undercover.
Yeah.
I would say it was a good crowd, given they had nothing to play for, which they didn't.
Yeah.
And I would say it was a bigger crowd than was at Quinn's the previous week. Yeah.
Oh.
So there are fair dues, Red Bull supporters. Oh, there was one stag do in there, and the gentleman in a pink dress who shot across the pitch and dived over the fence to escape the ground. Hilarious. It amused Vesti as he shot over the fence. The weird thing was he came back in the ground, to which the security threw him out again. So, all very odd. But anyway, but it was a good crowd, and there weren't many leaving until right to the very end. So, well done for sticking it out, supporting your team, because they need you. I met two old friends when I was up there. Joe Booth used to be part of the S&C team at Saints, and he headed off to be one of Georgia's S&C team as part of Richard Cockerell's team. And of course, they ended Richard's contract. So Joe is now back in the UK and is part of Newcastle Red Bulls. So it was good to see him again. And of course, Ethan Grayson, who gave me a huge hug before the game. It was lovely to see him. And we think he suffered a nasty injury right at the end of the game.
Yeah.
And, get well soon.
Wishing you well, Ethan.
Yeah.
I hope it's not as bad as we suspect, but wishing you all the best, my lovely.
All the best. Fabulous tap tackle even on Mr. Angry. But it was just, it was a bit in desperation. But yeah, no, he has to carry a huge load as the fullback in that team. He was originally on the bench, but he came on very early. So come on, get well soon, Ethan.
Yeah.
Now, I did have a really good conversation with Jacko Pienaar. Now, you and I have talked to Jacko many times.
Yes, Mr. Smiley. Yes.
He's very smiley and he's very jolly and he's very engaging. He came over to talk to me about the incident. They all do.
What incident would that be then, Claire?
It involved me in a puddle. Yes.
Yeah.
Just to check I was all right, which is very sweet of him. But I had a conversation about our props, and he is loving it. He's absolutely loving it. And the thing that he loves most about our props is they all want to learn. Doesn't matter whether it's Tom West, who's seen everything. Big Trev, who's away with England at the minute. or Ollie Scola, who he has a huge amount of time for, and he's most impressed how young Oliver, as we're now calling him, has come on.
Yes,
He's loving his time
name
with
now.
the Saints. So it was really lovely to talk to him, and he's also loving the PRC because it's giving some guys a chance to either come back from injury, and Tom, or I tell you, the one who's also looking at, he's got a glint in his eye. Clear pass.
Yes. I think next season we are going to see a new beast.
Yes. I mean, Luke Green doing really, really. I mean, we forget how young Luke is.
Yeah.
I mean,
crazy.
But yeah, no. So we have a good stable of props who are doing really, really well. So that was good. We're not going to go through the game blow by blow because it'll be
There was a lot of tries. Toby Tame, well done on 2.
Charlie Olco, well done. I think that was his first try for the Saints. And he ended up at the bottom of a pile of bodies, so there's nothing to see here. And that was the thing that Lewis, Dean and I, Lewis being our lovely videographer, we didn't get much content in the first half because everything that was scored was underneath about 15 bodies.
It's very close range, wasn't it?
Or somebody popping around from behind a post, as in Tom James. So, yeah, it was a bit... So, in content terms, it was quite hard work. But, yeah, no, they were cruising. And I was a bit surprised. I thought... I've done it now. Red Bulls.
You did it. Fred Bulls.
Red Bulls would, as they did in November, will put up more of a fight. But it didn't. Didn't quite work out.
No. I was surprised.
Yes.
I thought we were quite cruel again, letting them have the first score, lulling them to a false sense of what's the name before going, nah, you've had your time. Off we go.
And that was interesting because that was the lack of connection between our midfield. So back to the understanding of each other, and that was rectified pretty quickly. So
and you did want to have a word with one young returnee about not remembering that there is a winger.
So I had, like in cartoons where the bird explodes and all you see is a bunch of feathers floating down. I had visions that Amena was going to explode. And when I bit little feathers, the poor love, he must have run blooming miles. So Mr. Dependable made a fabulous break. Absolutely, and Amena was on his shoulder. He was there. One show and go, and Amena was in for the score. It'll come. He's only just back from injury, so it'll come. Yeah. But I did feel sorry for Amena. And then, of course, when the crossfield kick eventually did come, Amena had swapped with Archie Benson.
Oh, that works.
Well, we quite often have flankers. We've seen it in training. We quite often have flankers on the wing. So Archie was where he was supposed to be, and you could see Amena going, now he does it.
Yes. Bless.
So, yes. So keep going, Amena. You scored that fabulous try against Tigers. Yeah. So,
Oh, you did. That you had no right to score.
No,
absolutely
exactly.
Fantastic. Exactly. So we will get there. So well done to everybody on. Oh, and a special mention to Graham, who I thought, what is going on? So Graham was on his own, and because Lenny was supposed to be actually making the trek up north unusually, but then one of his sons was in hospital.
Yes, they had a bit of a family emergency, so Lenny was on family duty with one of his sons involving some paddle injury. Let's put it that way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Teach you to play silly sports.
Exactly.
So Graham Graham was saying, I will be joined by Callum Chick. And that'll be interesting. Then I realised I was still listening. The game had started and I was still listening to Graham, who was sounding increasingly desperate as he was talking to himself with absolutely nobody to bounce off. And I thought, well, I wonder where Callum is then. So, but you knew where Callum was.
Callum was originally in his play top, in his Saints gear, and he was social secretary on Friday night. So he obviously decided he was going to get into his glad rags before going on the radio, because you need to be in your glad rags on the radio.
Well, you do.
So,
yes.
So, for, ladies and gentlemen, here he is in his Saints gear. I'll just to prove that he was there. Yeah, there he is. Yeah, and he duly disappeared to get changed. Oh, he looked very smart. I have to say, he did look very smart when I saw him in the changing room, because he was, as I say, he was social secretary on Friday. And that we should say that because the guys, the coaches used Friday as a means of running a team event. So there were lots of players, the likes of Josh Kemeny, who were up there, who were not playing, but they were all going out on a team event on Saturday.
The tune. And to be fair, what a good place to go out on a Friday night, when you're young. The thought horrifies me now, but yeah.
Well, yes. So they all went out, and reports are that the coach didn't get back till quite late Saturday afternoon. So they all had a good time.
Let's hope they all got back.
Yes, well, I did like Dowse's comments to the team was, if you miss the coach, just talk to Toby Tame about train details. So obviously Toby's got form.
Yeah, either that or he's train spotter. I mean,
or he's in Durham, so he knows the locals. There could be lots of reasons. So the Ladies Wot Pod Player of the Match.
Yes. So it's over to you, because you.
Yes. I suppose I saw. I'd like to give an honourable mention to lots of players, actually, because there were a number of players. James Bennett. Not a name that many of you will know. He did actually play in the November games. He made his debut for the Saints. James, I don't think, was meant to play a whole half, because I think he's a part-timer, as many of them are. But I think Ed Prowse took a bang in the first half, and so he had to come off at half time. So James played a whole half, and he played really, really well. He carried really well. So well done him. I'd like to, as I say, James Bennett, Sammy G. Oh my goodness,
G, yeah,
Sammy G. He's a class act, isn't he? I mean, he's they will have. I hope the locals will appreciate what they're getting. But yes,
I'm sure they will. And I don't feel so bad that we took Callum Chick off them now, because we're sending Sammy G back. So I think
Elliot,
but thinking about the positions they play,
a number 8 swap, yes. Toby Tame was excellent, really, really good. Got stuck in. Was Charlie Olco, another teenager, carried really, really well. But my Ladies Wot Player of the Match is, and for those of you on Spotify, this is another visual moment, is this young man.
Living his best life.
Archie Benson, who was just a menace. He was everywhere. Carried well. Actually, we should also, but more of him in a minute, shout out to Chunyu, did a lot of carrying over the whole game. But no, Archie was just a menace. He got stuck in everywhere. And so, absolutely. And he's one of those that I would say he's one of the older young ones, if that makes sense. Who's really got to taken his chance and
he has
and run with it. So well done him. So he is the Ladies Wot Pod Player of the Match. Now, Sgt Wilson You do have a vote on the Sgt Wilson because you observed what I observed in a different way.
Yes, so I've just watched the highlights because that's all I can find to watch. But there's a moment when there's we're attacking under the posts, and well, there's I don't know, can't remember it, but there is a ruck and somebody is trapped underneath, and you can hear this distinctive voice saying, "I'm trying to roll, sir. I'm trying to roll, sir." And I thought, that's got to be. I know who it is, and that's got to be the Sgt Wilson Award. So, Chunya, Sgt Wilson Award.
Chunya, who managed the referee very well, right up until the very end when we went down to 13, because I think the referee was desperate. Oh, go on, one try. Well, they already have two, to be fair. But anyway, so we went down to 13. I think first Sammy G got binned, and then Archie got binned. Yes. Meanwhile, Sam Vesty got told off because they were looking for a ball at the end. Now, these balls are not cheap, 150 quid. And so he took one out of our bag of balls, much to Kev Buckby's,
Oh, Kev!
Threw it. And it's like, that's 150 quid. We need to get that back, says Kev. Not Anna. I think he just wanted the game to finish, as did we all.
Yeah.
So, well done, everybody. 5 points on the road. Semi-final secured. It won't be a home semi-final because Tigers, unfortunately, top the group. Can't have everything.
Catchable.
But we're still playing for something on Saturday because we're playing for a seeding. So who do we play in the other group who are still all battling it out and can still all qualify? And it's all very complicated.
So, so we're Saracens on Saturday, and that's it really. Saracens on Saturday.
Well, we'll talk more because I think there's going to be some interest. It'd be interesting to see which team we go with. This mix of people coming back from injury, and because if you think, let's talk about it when we talk about the games at the end of the pod as usual. But there are some interesting selection questions that they're going to have.
There are.
So the reason we called it a double therapy pod is because on Saturday afternoon we witnessed England. I'm not going to say playing. We witnessed England versus Ireland in the Six Nations. Now, we need a collective group hug, everybody, because as England supporters, we were dismayed. But we're not going to call any individual players out. We're not going to go down the keyboard warrior.
Everybody's done that.
Everybody needs to hang their heads in shame who's done that because it's just not on. But we are going to question a couple of things. One is the game plan.
What is it? And why is it?
It's hoof the ball in the air. And
why pick those players if that's what you're going to do?
And also what didn't work last week, let's have another go, because if we try really hard, it'll work. No, it won't. So we are going to say to Mr. Borthwick, what?
WTF.
What are you watching when you travel round the country looking at the PREM and in some cases Investec Champions Cup? Because you're not watching the same sport that the rest of us are. And certainly not with the players that you're picking or you've got in your squad. It does not make sense.
I am going to take task to keyboard warriors and some members of the press. As I say, gentlemen, they're not gentlemen. Having a go at Dingers. Pack it in. He works so hard. And somebody said, there was a comment from somebody about he makes Ford look slow or look poor. And I said, no, I think George Ford did that to himself, to be honest. I don't think he needed any help. But Dingers is, as my daughter described, Dingers is like the kid in class who always turns up to lessons on time, always gives his homework in on time, always gets at least a B++. His tie's straight, he's neat and tidy, he always has his PE kit, and nobody notices him because he's just reliably good. And that's Dingers. And
he did score, to be fair.
And he did score. and
yes,
you know.
But
he was also having to defend 2 channels because George Ford is not.
No, we're not going to call
it. No, I am that one. Just that one in defence of dingers, because that's.
Yes, I mean, there are lots of things that went wrong. But I think when you and I were talking about it, it really is. We seem to have gone back to how we were. Because it then says it doesn't matter who you pick. It's not working. It's not. It doesn't matter. All this, shall we have Fred or Boris or Eric or whoever? It doesn't matter if the game plan's not working and the game plan doesn't suit the players that you're picking. It's not going to work. So,
yeah.
So group hug, everybody, and hopefully, one thing we will say is, hope Mitch get better soon. Big hugs.
Yeah.
Big hugs. Yeah, and also to the referee, Monsieur Piodi, get better soon too.
Yes, what did he do to himself?
He said his calf or thigh, some sort of his leg, some sort of leg injury. And we had similar yesterday. The referee yesterday.
We did.
We've got an outbreak of referees this weekend. Anyway.
Yeah. So,
anyway,
so I was going to say, I did say that Denali and his mates must be licking their lips at this. England carry on playing like this. They've got a chance to beat us for the first time. And yeah, if we do, they will. So we've got a tough one to go.
Yeah.
And I can't even contemplate the French game unless we change the way we play.
No, let's just not go there. Anyway, Wales. We want a big shout out to Wales. Who I think that Wales-Scotland game was the best game of the weekend. I'm not buying this is the greatest championship in the world nonsense, because I think most of the rugby has been bang average in this championship. So I'm not buying the hype that this is the greatest. No, it isn't. Really, it isn't. There's been some pretty poor fare on show. Wales, I thought I felt so sorry for them. Sorry for them. I felt sorry for Costello, yet another leg injury. Don't know what he's done, but he was playing out of his skin.
He was.
And if ever it was a lesson, is you can't switch off for a moment in Test match rugby. That was it. So the players put in a shift, and
yes, they did.
But I am going to say, I believe the most underrated player in world rugby is
Elliot Miller-Mills.
Second week running, he comes on and he's just brilliant. Even Andrew Cotter was making a point of saying, Elliot Miller-Mills, as he carried the ball, because he just hit all the time.
Yeah.
Well done, Elliot.
He's well done.
Yeah.
And France put paid to Italy, which was expected.
That was Sunday, yes. Yeah. Italy in their very nice red shirts, because of course both teams play in blue, so to celebrate the Risorgimento, of course you always want to celebrate Risorgimento, they wore red shirts because Garibaldi's army was known as the Red Shirts. Okay. A bit of history there. And they played in Lille with the roof shut, but I didn't watch it, so I've got no idea what happened. Because we were watching Loughborough.
We were. I was going to say, it's a good stadium, that Lille stadium. Yeah.
Yes, we went there for the 2007 World Cup when England played. The USA.
All right. We went there for the 23 World Cup when England played somebody, and then was it Samoa they played in the... I can't remember. Japan? Samoa? I can't remember. Went there twice. It was good.
Yeah, it's a good stadium. And it's easy to get to. Which... Actually, no. Yeah. we went to Lille in 2007. England actually played in Lens, so I've completely codded that up.
Oh, anyway. Yeah. No.
Before actually did go to Lille. Okay, I think you'll find that England played the USA in Lens. Yeah. Yes, I know that.
Yeah.
So right. So let's quickly do the under 8. Let's quickly do the under 18s before we talk about Loughborough.
Under 18s. Yes.
The under 18s were in a 5th, 6th playoff against Chiefs under 18s. They lost, but heads held high. Well done for wearing the black, green, and gold. For some of them, as we said last week, it will be their last game for the Saints, but well done. And from that crop, we've got the likes of Jack Lewis. So
yes,
the future
and
is
others
still bright.
to come.
Yeah,
there will be others to come as well.
Yeah.
I'm
so
sure.
Charlie, he's clearly got plans in his head about how he changes things next season, because that's the way it works at Saints. But well done, guys. You represented the club with with honours. So Loughborough, it was
Loughborough.
Bristol Bears women in the PWR, and it's the first game of the season for Loughborough at the Gardens, which, given it's the middle of February, or nearly late February, it's remarkable, isn't it, the way their season works?
So the first game of the season or the first game of the year?
The first game, year 2026.
Yeah. I was going to say, I thought we were...
No, 2026. 2026, because their first games were at Gloucester, and then that horrific game at Exeter, and this was their first home game in this block of games. So yes, and well done to Andy Miller for the pitch.
Oh my God, I couldn't believe it. I was talking to one of the stewards before the game, and oh, for goodness sake. Excuse me a minute.
The telephone is sonné, ladies and gentlemen. Mrs. Saunders has gone off to so you could admire the shelf behind her.
Yes.
Those of you on YouTube, with the collection of Dazzles and the Ted.
Yeah.
And I can't see the picture of Daisy. That seems to have gone. So I don't know where it's gone, but it's gone somewhere.
No. So I'm just leaving a message, because it wasn't a scam number, so they're leaving a message.
Oh, anybody exciting?
No, I think it might be the coal merchant.
So the coal merchant has called, everybody. Don't worry, in South Northamptonshire, they're not going to be cold. So that's good. Oh, right, I have to reply, so otherwise it could be... I'm sorry, it's so professional here, isn't it? Yes, so the picture of Daisy was taken... I took it off the shelf to show Harry, who came with us to watch Loughborough yesterday, yes, of course.
who Daisy was. So he was very impressed, and even more impressed when I gave Daisy a hug at the end of the game, and she needed a big hug. She was there. A few of the girls were bitterly disappointed and in tears.
So it was an in and out performance. I'll keep talking about Loughborough. It was an in and out performance. I actually saw the game from angles I don't normally see it, because
you did.
Bobby Bridge asked me to do both teams, so I was up.
Yeah, that was clever.
Up and down their blooming touchline, taking photographs for Bristol. I got the dive in the corner. I felt unclean. I got the beautiful dive in the corner. From the Bears left wing, who was the player of the match in the end.
She was deservedly so.
Yeah,
deservedly so.
I did get some good stuff of Loughborough as well. But oh god, up and down. So it was a bit of a funny one, and it meant I'm going to need to watch the game back because I didn't really grasp what was occurring. But it did seem that we lost control of that left wing, the Bristol's left wing. That
completely.
Seemed to be where
we gave her way too much space.
Yeah.
She should have been man marked out of existence, not given acres of space to run in. It was frustrating to watch, but and Bristol, they're a very physical team, very physical.
Well, when you've got Sarah Byrne as one, and what's the lady who was there? Demont, who is the All Black at fly off. It's going to be quite physical. So it was heartbreaking to watch.
It was.
Watch them lose a very healthy lead. So
that was the sad thing. We were 14-5 up at half time, and it ended
and then
up
scored directly after half time. So it really should have been, home and hosed.
Yeah, but
there were a couple of
fair play to Bristol.
Absolutely. They took their chances. It was fair dues. There were a couple of notable things, though. One was the number of sweets that Emily Scarrett was piling through during the game. Those of you watching on TNT, I noticed that she was actually asked at one stage what she was eating. She was obviously onto the jelly tots at that point, because that wasn't all she had. We had the Haribo, we had chocolate, we had all sorts. This pile of sweets was taken up to the coaches. So clearly her nervous energy required that amount of sweets. And I also bumped into Pete Nuttall.
Yes, now this is intriguing. Now we know he's a man of many parts.
He is,
don't we?
Yes, he is.
And you go to other stadia and think, that sounds like Pete Nuttall.
Yes,
and it usually is. If it
he
sounds
usually
like
is,
him.
or his northern cousin, as I call him. Yes.
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 Yeah. So, but he's got a new string to his.
He has a new string to his bow. So Super League is back, and you were watching The Wrong Hull, weren't you?
I was watching The Wrong Hull on Thursday night. Yeah.
Yes, you were watching The Wrong Hull, and it
wasn't my choice. I mean, I wasn't like that. Was like that's who was playing, and they were playing Brisbane Broncos in some sort of
world challenge. Yeah,
and they beat them. Oh, it was close though. Broncos were coming back. They were right at their apps. It was horrible to watch because I have a horrible feeling they were 33-0 up. It was like Exeter. So it was like watching the Exeter game, and the Broncos just kept coming back and going, oh no, this can't happen. Oh no. Sorry.
Oh no. Anyway, they didn't. Oh no. Anyway, Mr. Nuttall's got a new job. So in rugby union, and certainly at the Gardens, we have those little videos of Central Milton Keynes, Craig Maxwell Keys and Sarah Cox waving their arms and telling us whether it's a knock on or whatever. Well, in rugby league, it's on the PA. So when it's the 6th tackle turnover, Mr. Nuttall's voice is heard over the PA, and it doesn't matter which ground you're at, it'll always be Pete Nuttall. Telling you that the opposition now have the ball, or whether they always confirm the try. So the TMO always checks the try and then comes back and says try confirmed. Only it's not the referee saying that, it's Pete Nuttall. So there are lots, and all the messages are Pete, and there are lots of them apparently. So and he said already people are bored. But I came up with the idea that we should do the same in rugby union. We should have Pete Nuttall doing knock on. Yes.
Yeah. Overlaying, doing the audio for CMK's video.
Exactly. And then just to add a bit of spice, mix up the two. So sometimes we have rugby league announcements. No, that's
that confused. Sixth tackle. What?
Could you imagine it? Easy to prove. Anyway, I thought that was yes, let's have Pete Nuttall doing the explaining what's going on to the crowd. Yeah. Yes, so love for a group hug, therapy pod. Yeah. You've got a break now because of the weird season you've got. So you've got a week off, and then get back together and big hugs. Big hugs.
I mean, there were some. They played so well. That was the heartbreak of it. That they were doing so well, and Bristol just came back stronger. I thought Bo had managed to break another member of the opposition with a tackle. That was the number
Bo was
14
just flinging herself at anybody that. It was. Daisy's try after half time. So I was at the wrong end, of course, because I was shooting Bristol Bears.
Yes,
but I got a fantastic Carmela Morrill doing a very good Rory Hutchinson impression with her arms out wide as Daisy's diving in. So of course that'll never see the light of day because they lost. Anyway, but
yes. I thought she had a good game.
Yeah.
She was putting herself about. She'd have been. I think she'd have been in for my player of the match.
That's interesting. Yeah. No, I can see that. Yeah. But as I say, I don't think the connectedness was quite there.
Wasn't quite there. And they brought on. They got some girls making their debuts for Loughborough, and that was. I was going to say that was where it really fell apart. That's wrong. It wasn't their fault, but it just showed the lack of connectiveness. I think was what
Paige
what happened
Stathalopoulos was the
that's an amazing name.
Yes, that was the hooker who came on for her first game. I didn't realise it was her debut until I heard the announcement from Pete.
Yeah. And there were a couple of others that came on, but
Kelly. Girls... I think everybody else. So the replacements, Isla Curfew, Christine Bellard, who were just having fun hitting people.
Yeah.
Becky Boyd, Talia Brodie, Kendall Warby, and congratulations to, I think Kendall's one of 2 players who've been called up for the Wales. Is it Sevens training camp? Yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
Lucia Scott was 23. So.
Yeah.
So anyway, group hug to everybody.
Yeah. To everybody that needs it. Blimey, I needed it on Saturday. Actually, I wasn't. I was far too angry to be hugged. I was on Saturday. I
did get that on the WhatsApp. Yes.
Yeah.
This is why I reminded you of Friday's result and Archie.
You did. Yeah, you did. I think it just took me back to watching England in the early 80s, the late 70s and early 80s, when you just felt that, what are you doing? So, anyway, I'll put it onward and just hope it gets better.
Towcester under 8s and under 11s. And you bumped into a coach yesterday, didn't you?
I did. So as we were going into the Loughborough game, a voice behind me said, "Is that a Harry I see?" And it was Harry's coach from the under 11s, and he confirmed that how that he'd put them through their paces. He'd made them work hard, but Harry had done some good tackling that morning. So well done, Harry. Well done, and well done, Ollie, because I just think a shout out to all mini rugby coaches. You have the patience of a saint, because herding cats doesn't even come close to it, really. It's
Ben Rhodes thinks he has a hard time with Archie.
Oh, honestly, it's nothing compared with having to deal with. At least Ben Rhodes's charges aren't likely to suddenly burst into tears and throw themselves. Well, they might. But yeah, because they're cold. I mean, this is what happens. It's sort of children crying all over the place because they're cold. So yeah, so shout out to Ollie, who I know listens to the pod, and to all mini coaches. You're doing a cracking job bringing on the next generation. So thank you all, and on behalf of parents, thank you all for doing it on Sunday, so they were worn out. Got rid of some energy.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So we have some videos.
We do have some videos. Sorry, I just knocked my microphone. We do have some videos, and here they are.
So today we did a game against someone.
Buckingham?
Yeah, Buckingham. But first we did a bit of training, and then we did a game. Well, I did a game for the opposition. I came back, did a bit more training, and then I did a really good game where I got in a tackle, lots of tackles, some good works. It was quite a good game. And then we did this really fun bit, which was after we finished that, we went to watch the Loughborough Lightning's game against someone, Bristol Bears, and they won 24-21, but it was a good game, very fair. And this is my signing shirt, and we got 2 new signatures, one from the captain and one from somebody. I don't remember either of their names. Bye-bye. So, I'm finally back on the pitch after
A long time.
3 weeks.
Something like that, yeah.
And then I got one tag, and I got really involved with the game, and my friend and my coach told me how good I was.
Top work, lads. Top work, lads. Yeah. And the international man of mystery gracing us with his presence again.
Now, when we talk about Henry being so good for the game and the connection he makes with younger people, so they were watching the game on Saturday, and at one point Henry was there chewing his gum shield, as he does, and suddenly gum shield back in place, and he put in a huge tackle on somebody, and Alfie just went, "That's what I do." And it is what Alfie does. They can't tackle yet, but stands around chewing his gum shield and then suddenly bursts into life. So that's the connection that Henry being Henry brings to an 8-year-old of he does what I do. That he is a really bridging that gap. And
yes, absolutely he is. And we also need to shout out to Brian O'Driscoll.
I love this story.
Right, so fair dues to Brian for being so honest, who came home to find his son with a white T-shirt and a white pair of shorts and a black headband and a gum shield.
A white tape and tape around his legs and a gum shield. Yeah.
And he said, "Oh, off to play tennis?" "No," says his son, "I'm Henry Pollock. One of the island's greatest players."
My life has ended, he said.
As you say, well done. Well done. I mean, if Henry can influence kids in that way, it's great for the game. So, keyboard warriors, back your trucks up.
Yeah.
So, walking rugby?
Walking rugby, they say sessions going really well. Lots of people still turning up. In fact, we had 2 or 3, I think it was 3, joined us from Brackley. They also train on a Thursday, but of course they train outside, so they were waterlogged, so they popped along and joined our walking rugby sessions, because you can in walking rugby. It's like that. So anybody who is interested in having a look at what goes on with walking rugby, on Saturday, 12 o'clock in the barn, High Performance Centre, there's a demonstration of walking rugby. So get along, have a look, see whether it's something you might fancy doing. It's a good laugh. So
excellent. My IT department didn't walking rugby this week because there wasn't any. So
yeah.
Because I think it was a bit damp. Saint supporters club. Well,
not a lot to report. There are still, we put on another coach to go to watch Sarries at the Spurs Stadium, so there's still some seats available if you want to go, and you might as well, because it's a stupid kick-off time and it's a ridiculous ground to try and get to by public transport or drive, so you might as well go on the coach. Get on the website, book yourself a seat.
As a Spurs supporter, I am in mourning at the moment. I am looking forward to seeing the ground, but seriously.
Yeah.
So we have some news this week, revealed by the Times, although it has been coming for some time, that we're going to hear more about this idea of having franchises from the 2029-30 season. And there are 3 categories It's basically to be in. Well, the way the article describes it is to be in whatever it's going to be called, PREM Rugby. You will need 13 million quid to buy your way in, and you will be measured on a number of criteria, which interestingly includes having a women's team, which I think is a good thing. So you can't. It's not just about the men; it's also about the women, which is a really smart idea. But we wait and see the details. So clearly, Champ Rugby, the RFU and PRL have been in discussions. It's not until 2029-30, and we know things can change incredibly quickly in rugby union. So let's let's watch it with interest. I'm media tartary, media watch. I'm giving up. Just because. Yes. Anyway, yes. So we have a packed week of rugby again this weekend. Although saying that, Loughborough have got a week off, and it's the rest week in the Six Nations. But for Saints and Bedford supporters, Saints are at home to Saracens in the final round of the PREM Rugby Cup group stages, and I understand that we're playing for a seeding place.
Yes, we are playing. We've qualified for the semis, and it's
who do we face?
Where we come.
Yeah. Which would be interesting. I didn't realise we could end up going to Welford Road.
Oh, could we? I suppose.
Yeah, if we're playing for a seeding place. It must be they were either going for the winner or anyway. Yeah, all very confusing. Bedford are off to Caldy, up in the northwest. So good luck.
It's always a tough one. Yeah,
it is. It
gnarly.
Is. Yes,
very
a bit old school with long grass and a lot of mud. Yes,
and they're a very shouty team, aren't they, Caldy? Very shouty,
very punchy. Yes.
Yeah.
So, So it should be a busy weekend. I'm hoping that the weather is on the turn. You and I are off to training later in the week.
Yeah, we are. Apparently so. Yep.
So we will see. Interesting challenges for the coaches. Who are they going to go with?
Yeah. Who are we going to do? Because now we've qualified, you've now got to take into account that if it had been we hadn't qualified, then they've got 2 weeks off. But they haven't now, so they've got to now work out who we rest, what we're resting them for, what's going on. Because when we go back into the PREM, presumably some of the England players will not be allowed to. The usual nonsense about not being allowed to play. So it's all that they've got to take into account. But the
national team's going to release some players back to their clubs.
That'd be helpful, wouldn't it?
It's going to be fascinating to see who we end up playing against and who we're going to end up playing in our squad.
I feel that Ollie, the Saints psychologist, could possibly have a busy time picking up the pieces from this England.
Right, and that's just with us supporters.
Yeah. I'm hoping he's going to be there on Thursday. I felt like phoning myself. To be honest, on Saturday. They needed somebody to do a later shift on Saturday at Samaritans, and I thought, I'm not in a fit state. I can't go. I can't. No.
So yes. Training on later in the week, and then Sarries on Saturday. So and it's the community game. So
community game, and there's all sorts of
stuff going on. So
all sorts of things. Have a look on the website. They've just put it up. What's going on? So look at the Saints website, and you'll see what's going on. So I would say, unless
it's a pert pod, yes.
Yeah, are the horses happy?
Well, they're slightly shortchanged. 1 hour and 5 minutes, I think. They'll
have to do.
Get over themselves
again.
Yes. The feedback we've had so far, by the way, everybody, because we do go on about the horses, is that actually the horses are very happy with our performance. So,
good. I'm glad about that.
So yeah, no, they appreciate our efforts. So that's good to hear. Yes.
Yes, for those of you who don't understand about the horses, come and find us and ask us, because
or go back through all the pods.
Yeah. Okie dokie. So I think that's a wrap.
It's a wrap. Double therapy pod over. Group hug, everybody.
Yeah.
And well done to the Saints boys.
We'll fight again. Thank goodness for the Saints boys. It's and to the Saints boys playing in other teams, group hug, except for the Scots who were all right. So well, and Hutch. What does Hutch have to do? On that note, group hug, Finn, Hutch.
Bye, everybody.
We will end, and we will be back. Bye now. Button.